winning. La 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 la. They tried to slap that look right off my face, but I'm still grinning. And the money ain't run out yet, so I do believe I'm winning. For all the mess I was them and will be continuing, and the fun is only beginning. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hello and welcome to Don't Bury the Lead. We recap WWE SmackDown every Saturday night, but tonight's a little bit different. We're talking WWE Saturday Night Main Event. My name is John Zindel. I'm joined by Dom Scarcella. Dom, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
John, adjust those eyeglasses. Was there anything worth noticing, worth seeing, worth diving into from Saturday night's main event? So without further ado, don't bury the lead. What's our top story from Saturday night's main event from November 1st, 2025?
Dom, we don't ever bury the lead. And the lead is the main event for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk knocks off Jey Uso in the main event. The title was, what is that word? Vacated. Thank you. Yeah. Vacated by Seth Rollins. So we had to have this title match to figure out the winner. Jey Uso, I believe, won a battle royale to get into this, and then he gets knocked off by CM Punk. So CM Punk wins his title again. He had it briefly for like 30 seconds before Seth Rollins cashed in the Money in the Bank. Dom, what'd you think of our main event here and CM Punk beating Jey Uso?
It's two guys who've been at the near the top or at the top over the last year. So it wasn't like there was a surprising person in this match. I thought it was a pretty decent match. I'm not sure it was main event of the program. I was frankly surprised to see this one as the last match of the night, as the main event. It goes 21 minutes. These guys weren't cheated. They got the most amount of time on the card. CM Punk does win it. Jey Uso looked like he had the advantage for a little bit here. Rolled into a crucifix for a 2 count, 2 super kicks. Looks like he was making a big charge, but CM Punk caught him with a high knee on a Jey Uso spear charge attempt. CM Punk had to go to sleep. Jey bounced off the ropes, fell right back onto CM Punk's shoulders for a second go to sleep. This was a move they had teased earlier in the match, but this time it worked. Pinfall just a few seconds before the 2-hour mark of the show. This was 2 hours in length, so it was more like a SmackDown than a premium live event. But it had 4 matches on it, lots of wrestling action. So it's a weird show. It's somewhere between a regular SmackDown or Raw and a premium live event. It's not one, it's not really the other. But yeah, title matches. I'm not going to complain about title matches. This one was all right.
I kind of had the same I had the same opinion, I have to say. The match was pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Like nothing crazy happened. I think they kind of, if you will, played it safe. Gave CM Punk the title. They didn't really have a lot to do. They gave him plenty of time to work in there. I think they had pretty good chemistry. There was a little shakiness, like in the neck breaker sequence. It looked like there was like a bit of a botch there, and then Punk went to the neck breaker again. There was a lot of Punk setting up the GTS. Because I think he must have hit it 3-4 times. And one time, like, he couldn't get him up all the way, which I kind of like that. It was all kind of building toward that finisher. Everything was sort of building toward the finishers, right?
which isn't a
So
bad way to go.
exactly. No complaints, but not trending in my like match of the year or like this was sensational or this was really good.
Yep.
But
What about these
yeah,
two guys in the match? I mean, it looks like the Raw side of WWE really got thrown for a loop with Seth Rollins legitimately hurting himself a crown jewel. And
after
it looks
fake
like
hurting
they had
himself.
nobody what to do. They had no idea what to do, and they're kind of treading water. And this seemed like you mentioned, I think, safe. Like this seemed like a safe pick, just to put the belt on CM Punk for a while. I mean,
Yeah. He's been I mean they've been really milking the fact that he'll be the champ at some point, right? So um I think it makes sense to give him the title. He can still go in the ring. Um I do think he's lost a step at certain points, but I think he still has the ring smarts. One thing I do have to say from like a in-ring perspective, I was seeing Punk call some of the stuff
okay.
out there. Like I could tell that he was talking to Jay, which is honestly a little refreshing because I think with guys like Logan Paul, they just memorize the thing and then they do the thing.
Hmm.
Where CM Punk was just calling the stuff out there. You know, he was definitely the ring general because I could see him always like in the side headlock saying what he had to Jay.
Oh, it's more than a
Um,
rest hold and a thing to make us go, yes, a headlock.
and neither of them have the long hair, so they can usually hide the long hair when they do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So,
right.
um, but yeah. Anyways, I have to say, pretty good main event. Almost to a point where I don't have a ton of notes on it though. I was just like, yeah, I like the Jay Uso spot doing Roman Reigns thing. You know, a little callback where basically he charges the corner of when they're on the outside, he charges toward the, you know, time booth or whatever that
Oh, when he sneaks
area
them through
is
the
right next to the
barricade.
through the barricade.
Yes,
Yeah.
into the timekeeper's area.
Yeah, into the timekeeper area. So yeah, I like that spot. I liked kind of how they worked to the GTS and yeah, I liked the neck breaker too. That's a fun move.
It looked like Jay over rotated, like you were saying. It looked like there was a botch on it and they just did a do-over.
They just did a do-over. I've done that before.
Right.
I like just all right, we'll go back. We'll just repeat it. Whatever.
If this was a SmackDown episode, they just edit it.
This is true.
So that it would just like they
You would have
nailed it
never
on the
seen it.
first try. But two veterans who would this have been better if they just put the belt on Braun Breaker?
Yeah. I mean,
That would have been cooler, right?
there's probably a little bit more than you can have the chase. I think Punk then chasing. I think Punk probably at this point in his career is going to be stronger on the storyline perspective because he is really good on the mic, right?
Sure.
And not as strong on the wrestling perspective because he is lost a step. But so I would assume, you know, realistically, this would have been better. Like this was a random build, right?
Yeah.
Where you have like just two guys and they're both baby faces and they're just kind of going to wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Teodoro.
Happy
Happy
Sunday to you.
Sunday. This had more swerves than I expected. The show. Interesting.
Really? Okay. Okay.
And
I
no
thought it
Braun.
had fewer swerves.
Yeah, I'm interested, Nick, what you mean, what swerves you're talking to, but thanks for checking in,
Yeah,
man.
we so far have hit the main event, which was the final match of the night, and it seemed kind of vanilla and a safe bet.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with this match?
Not really. I mean, for a main event that went 21 minutes, I don't have a lot.
Yeah,
The
me
two
either.
guys who've been chasing Seth Rollins or chasing each other for the better part of a year on Raw met for a vacated title, and it was babyface on babyface, and there was no interference. And I wonder if, I mean, Peacock wants Saturday night's main event to be a big deal. They paid a lot of money for it. But I wonder if WWE cares. I don't know if the entire worldwide viewership even gets this.
Oh yeah, totally.
Probably
I know
fewer
what you
people
mean.
watch this and watch a random Raw or SmackDown.
I
So it's
know.
like, well, would you
It's been
want to
a,
do something groundbreaking on a Saturday night's main event? It's not even being broadcast by NBC. It's just on
I know.
Peacock streaming.
And it's I mean, honestly, going head to head with Game 7 of the World Series like that, I was like, I know baseball's not as big as it once was, but like that felt like I was like took so much air out of the excitement for me. I was like, well, I'll watch this later because I'm obviously gonna watch the World Series.
I logged into Peacock and the first thing they showed me was a college football game. I had to toggle through to the third thing to find Saturday night's main event. Usually, if there was something like that on back when the pay-per-views were on Peacock, it's the first thing on the carousel when you log in.
Yeah.
This wasn't even the biggest thing that Peacock was showing tonight. So it's probably going to be a vanilla show. I thought there were fewer swerves.
I got some great chats here from Nick.
Okay, Jay
Jay
should have won.
should have won. Let him win and lose to Gunther. Then
and dive into his heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
then
I wonder if that's all planned, but they didn't want to pull the trigger on anything on Saturday night's main event.
And then yeah, this is exactly what Nick said. Punk's win needed to be at a bigger PLE. And another one. Smash the like or John Cena will give Dom an attitude adjustment.
Oh, he has. My attitude has been adjusted several times. Thank you, Nick. But by the way, those of you watching on the archive or live streaming with us, Nick Teodoro from the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour, also a channel on YouTube. If you're finding us on YouTube and subscribing to Don't Bury the Lead, type into that search bar, Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Find Nick and Nicole there and subscribe to them as well. They put out weekly content, as do we here at Don't Bury the Lead. So big shout out. Thank you for joining us tonight, Nick.
Nick, I'll have to take you up on this offer. At some point, we will have to call in.
Oh, my goodness. Live call-ins.
Yeah, that's what their show does. So
I have seen that before. Yes, the live call. I've never attempted it, but yes.
But yeah, Nick.
I nominate John. Also, you're gonna do the live call-in.
I'll represent. I do have to say, you also have those interviews I saw with Buff Bagwell. That was a good one. Karrion Kross, really huge names you're getting. So really cool to see your channel kind of make that progress. But I don't want to bury the lead here and talk too much about your channel. We're going to keep talking about the show. Dom, I told you the lead. What do you think we should start with on the follow? I'll kick it to you.
I'm going to go to what I thought was the match of the night. The one that I had the most amount of notes for, even though the match was only about 12 and a half minutes. The Intercontinental Championship triple threat. Dominic Mysterio retains over Rusev and Penta. Basically, what's been going on over at Raw is that Dominic Mysterio keeps somehow retaining this belt, even though Rusev keeps beating the crap out of him, or if Penta keeps beating the crap out of him. So now it's a triple threat match. This one had a lot of action. Rusev looked good in it. He looked like the real monster. I want to say monster heel, but the crowd seems to be cheering him. He worked a lot in this match, and it was basically he'd pummel Dominic Mysterio and Penta would come in. He'd pummel Penta, Dominic Mysterio would jump back in. So, everybody kind of got a break while Rusev was working the whole match. So kudos to him, but eventually he winds up taking the pinfall here. Dominic Mysterio sends Rusev into the ring steps, then goes for the ring timekeeper's hammer that he had put into the ring. But Penta got to it first. Penta swings the hammer at Dom, but Dom ducked. Penta nailed a returning Rusev. Dom throws Penta into the ring post, hits the top turnbuckle splash on Rusev. So Rusev eats the pinfall in 12 and a half minutes. This was a fun match. I always
That was
wonder
the
how they're
spot of
going
the
to
night.
do a triple threat and make it not boring or not like other triple threats. This one was really cool. Before I get into other analysis, what do you say about this match? Since I got to pick the next one we went to, what say you about this match, and what did you like or not like about it?
I thought the spot of the night was Dom Mysterio ringing the
Yeah,
bell. I thought that was
right.
amazing. Kind of a little bit like Eddie Guerrero with the chair. There'd be a spot where Eddie would pretend to get hit by a chair, and the ref would disqualify
Yes,
the opposing
which
guy,
they
and then
did
he
in
was
this
like,
match, which was extra funny because the referee looks at Dominic Mysterio and goes, "It's a triple threat. There's no disqualification. What are you doing?"
right. So he tried it, but it didn't
At which
work
point he
because it
just
was
kind of had like shrug and go, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. But yes,
yeah.
great spot.
I do have some good chats here, so I'm gonna just let them come through. And then knew it. Dom loves
Hey,
Dom.
we gotta stick together. He has such a high wrestling IQ. He comes up with these. I don't know if it's him coming up with it or creative is just using all of their powers on his matches, but his matches and his angles have been just brilliant. He wins a
And
match
his
because he unlaces his boot, so he wriggles out of an ankle lock.
mhm.
Now he wins a match because Rusev has Penta in the accolade, that big stretch that he got from the Bonsall Street Bomber. So he's got him in the Kensington clutch. And then
clutch.
Dominic Mysterio has been thrown out of the ring. Instead of crawling back in the ring, goes to the timekeeper's area, rings the bell. Rusev thinks he's won by submission. And the ref is looking around. I didn't call for the bell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he gets
Yeah.
Rusev to break the hold by faking that he won the match. Great spot. And then, of course, the hammer becomes a weapon for the rest of the show now that he's got the weapon.
Yes. And I thought that was awesome. And at the end of the day, the progress that Dirty Dom has made has been really something to see. Just to see him get to a point where he was at before, when he was just tagging with his dad and he had like no personality, to like full blown giant mullet, the dirty mustache, the big baggy clothes, there's something about the skinny arms with the tattoos all over him that's just like he just has such a weird look about him. He like looks like a snaky guy,
He keeps saying, "I've been to prison," He's been to prison. He may have been to timeout in daycare. I don't know if he's been to prison.
He's the perfect that's like the perfect thing for a guy that's like a nepo baby,
right?
To say he's been to prison and he's hard now, but his dad's like Rey Mysterio. He's probably multimillionaire,
And the
But
other thing is, you talk about him being the nepo baby. He grew up in this business. I don't think there's a smarter wrestler in the ring. And I don't know if it's creative that's feeding it to him or if he's coming up with these ideas. At the very least, he's executing them brilliantly. I don't think there's right now a higher IQ wrestler than Dominic Mysterio.
yeah, because we watched SmackDown,
Yes.
one thing that came to my head was, man, I'd love to have any three of these guys on SmackDown. I think it'd be really helpful.
There you go.
I mean, obviously starting with Dom, but even going down the list with Penta and Rusev. And even with Penta, I'm not a big fan of the flippy stuff, especially that Canadian Destroyer. But that was really cool to see him use Rusev as a springboard and then do the Canadian Destroyer.
Yes,
that was a cool spot.
Rusev was got floored and was like just maybe getting up to a kneeling position on all fours. Yeah, Penta springboards off of Rusev's back to hit that Canadian Mexican Destroyer, the old Code Red, onto Dominic Mysterio. Very good stuff there. And one of the few times where all three wrestlers were involved in a big spot. So that worked well. I usually think it's boring when they make a triple threat into just, it's always a one-on-one match because one guy's always just on the floor. But I thought it worked for this one. Because it gave you a reason to not only showcase Rusev as a guy who can really work, but it gave you a reason as to why Dominic Mysterio was not getting back into the ring so quickly when he finally went for the timekeeper's area to do the fake bell ring.
Yeah, there's some chats coming in from Nick, so
Great
I'm gonna put them
story.
up.
Agree.
And then, yeah, we were kind of talking. Bell spot was great. He also agrees there. This is kind of interesting here. Dom being one step ahead is what makes him a great heel. He's taking the Eddie mantle to a new level for this era.
Very, very good callback there to Eddie Guerrero and how Eddie came up as a main eventer. Now, here's the question, though. People began to appreciate Eddie Guerrero so much that he turned babyface. Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point is Dominic Mysterio going to be a babyface, or will he be able to maintain heel status?
He was getting some cheers during the match when the crowd was doing, like, they do the Cody Rhodes singing chant. They were doing
Yes.
Dirty Dom instead of Cody Rhodes. It wasn't
Mhm.
loud, but some people were doing it. So
He got cheered when he won the belt at WrestleMania.
Right. He got cheered. It's tough because his character's too amazing. It's so hard to boo.
Yeah, and he's too good at it. Now I wonder. It says he will be a world champion by 2028. I wonder if he's got the build to be a world champion and to be believable as the world champion. But he never disappoints when he's on TV, no matter what he's doing. Backstage, interfering in a match with his stablemates on his own, wrestling his own match one-on-one, wrestling in a battle royal, wrestling in a triple threat. Like, he never disappoints when he's on TV.
Oh, I like this comparison. So Nick's saying Dom's already a baby face. And he also said the chant tells it all. He's like MJF for AEW.
Speak to that, John. You watch AEW. How's that for a comparison? Tell me about MJF.
I think it's a great comparison because MJF is a guy that doesn't really need a title, and he's the biggest thing on the show. Same thing with Dom Mysterio. Even though he has the Intercontinental title, he could still be the biggest thing on the show just through his character work. And then when push comes to shove, they both can really work too. They both seem to really always stay in character as well. MJF for sure more so. I mean, there have been glimpses of like Dirty Dom getting married,
and getting booed at his own wedding though, so he was in character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I do like that. That's a great comparison. I'd also have to say, as far as like MJF and Dirty Dom, they're like younger, up and coming. They're not like, you have your like CM Punk and you have your John Cena, and then even AEW, you have like Chris Jericho. Like, these dudes are old, right? Like, these guys are.
You've got your over 40s, but here are two guys who I think are still younger than 30, right?
They're under 30. Yeah. So you're going to be seeing them. They're really probably both the future of pro wrestling, So they're really guys that are the future of pro wrestling. I know MJF's won the AEW title, and he's already at the top. He definitely has a better look than Dom. He's like friggin' jacked.
He's more muscular. Yeah.
Dom still looks, like he is a bit like he'd have to put on some muscle to be realistically a winner. Like winning a big belt. And I think they're showing a lot of patience with Dom. But I would have no problem pushing him up to the main event for sure.
To your point, he's they're being patient with him because he's doing so well in the role he's in. He can steal the show and be in the last segment of the night if they need him to, even though he's not the big Vince McMahon type jacked up guy.
Yeah, totally. And, MJF has even like, he's not always the, he doesn't always have to wrestle because he's so great on the mic specifically. And even great on these podcast interviews, just staying in that character and just like yelling at the person and making fun of them. It's always like whoever he's interviewing with, I'm like, I would not want to do that interview. He finds those little things to like pick at you for, and it's like, oh. And even Dirty Dom picking at Logan Paul in our big video.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, you're banned from China or from Japan, aren't you? You're allowed to go there.
Can you go to Japan?
Yeah.
MJF, it's got to be fun being a heel. If he were like a really cool baby face and he'd have to do these interviews in character, he'd have to be like cordial and gracious to everybody.
Yes.
See, that would be awful. Getting to be sarcastic to people is fantastic. Yeah, I'll do an interview if I can insult this chump.
Right. He does Money in the Bank gimmick is always there too. Oh, he does have like a throughway to maybe win the title with Money in the Bank. How many wrestlers steal a title? No, too bad this isn't a call-in show. Well, we'll read the chats. We can read.
We are very low tech, high tech here at Don't Bury the Lead.
Yeah, this is wrong logic on look. I will explain if you have to have call-in. Well, if you want to explain it to me, you can type it out. So,
address it on the next Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour coming up this weekend.
There it is.
This Friday, right?
There's the
That's
promo.
the teaser.
That's the teaser. The teaser is the next time I'm on your show, we'll talk about it. All right, let's anything else from this match, Tom? We talked about it for a while here.
Tremendous sequences all around. Really cool. If this is the kind of stuff they're seeing regularly on Raw, then this I'm imagining is one of the highlights of Raw whenever these guys are on the program.
Yeah. Anything anything else from this match, or maybe can we move on to the next one?
Yeah, pick one. There's two left.
This is tough to pick what we want to talk about next. I think it's a bit of a coin flip here, but maybe I'll just stick with it because it's a title change. Jade Cargill, Jade Cargill wins the title over Tiffany Stratton tonight in what is a bit of a squash match. So Jade wins it though, and we kind of predicted that going into this, right? That we felt like Jade might win it when we had been talking before. This one doesn't go too long. It's kind of built like a squash match. Tiffany Stratton's really nursing a knee injury, or at least supposedly like a worked knee injury. What'd you think of this squash match and then Jade winning the title, Dom?
2 years into her run in WWE and creative has finally figured out, well, I guess we're just booking her for squash matches. Which is unfortunate because I think Jade is a great athlete and can probably do more than they're letting her with the booking. But yeah, we saw a 5.5-minute match for a title change. Can you bury this title anymore?
I feel bad for Tiffany Stratton because she has been strong for like a year. So why squash her? Why not just have Jade beat her in a real match? That was a head scratcher for me.
Yep.
And I'm not trashing Jade here. I'm trashing the booking. I think at the end of the day, I was really pulling for Jade when she came with the company. And I just thought she has the look. She has the in-ring charisma. She just needs to be an average wrestler. And I think she's there. I think she's manageable in the ring, and she's improved in the ring. So I'm happy for her. I really am. I'm happy Jade Cargill won the title. I think that she's proven that she's worthy of winning the title. I don't know if she should have it for a long time. Feels a little bit like she is keeping it hot for someone, right?
Bianca Belair returning from her injury. That'll be a fun feud no matter who, if they trade the belt a few times or Jade keeps it for a long time. But yeah, that could be setting it up.
Yeah, and I know they're trying to push her as a heel now, and she might make a little bit more sense as a heel, especially because I'm looking at the women's division, and she might have to be slotted in as a heel. She can go either way though, and she's not going to be like this incredible heel where you're like, wow, MJF or Dom, but she will be the bad guy, in the match.
Jade can be the heel. I'm going to go the other way. I'm just thinking about what we've seen on SmackDown. Who's a really good babyface on the women's division in SmackDown?
Chelsea Green.
People like her, but she's always booked as a heel.
Yeah, right.
And she does heel tactics.
Oh, she is a heel, right? She's a heel, but she's like everyone loves her.
We like her, but she's a heel.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. There aren't a lot of faces.
Michin.
Michin.
Michin's the top baby face in the women's division.
Yeah, now
She's a
they're
good wrestler, but I mean, they haven't given her that kind of a push though.
no, she oftentimes is our Ricochet Memorial winner. Was she a Ricochet Memorial winner? I know she was in the
She
running.
may have been, or she's always in the conversation because she's turned herself into a good wrestler. A lot of these women who a few years ago were just valets in these stables,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was Michin, Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega. There's a lot of really good women wrestlers who we just didn't know were good wrestlers because they were never given a chance. And yeah, Michin's one of them. But I don't see a lot of good baby faces on SmackDown on the women's side.
I got a hot take, burning hot take coming in from Nick.
Oh my goodness.
Jade doesn't deserve the title. Ooh.
I don't think anybody on that roster deserves the title.
Yes. There's no obvious person you could just put it on and it's like, yeah, she needs it. You know, she's been awesome. Nobody's
Or
really
she
stepped up to
could
the plate.
make the title awesome.
Yes.
Like it's
I
not
know.
always that the person needs the title. Sometimes the title needs the person.
Yes, exactly. There isn't
Like
an
the women's intercontinental title is getting a huge push because Becky Lynch has it.
right.
The tag titles are they've managed to keep those pretty prestigious, especially now that Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, two big names, have them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple people that he's throwing out. Stephanie Vacquier
Over on Raw has a world title.
And then Rhea Ripley, who's on Raw.
Yep. Who doesn't need a title. She can main event without a title.
I actually agree with this one. Chelsea Green deserves the title.
We said that last week. She's probably the best person on the roster, but she's stuck doing comedy gimmicks backstage.
Yeah. As much as I am happy for Jade, it is hilarious seeing this night unfold. And basically, you have Cody Rhodes has been the champ. Now CM Punk has the title, and Jade Cargill has the title. They can't stop thinking about AEW. They can't stop thinking about AEW to a point where it's like, if you ever want to get over in the WWE, you just need to go do a stint in AEW, and when you come back, they'll treat you like a god. You know?
Didn't Stephanie Vacquier come from another promotion as well?
I think New Japan. I think
New
Japan.
That has an arrangement with AEW, right?
Yeah. Here. Don't quote me on that, though.
Sure,
Yeah.
no problem. But yeah, everybody that's got a major singles title right now got big recently and had a belt or was in a title picture over in AEW. Yeah, it speaks to the fact that AEW is a solid second promotion in the US, at least.
A very solid second. You know? Yeah, probably worldwide at this point, right? But yeah, so certainly if you look, because they did like 80K in the UK. So I at a show, they sold out Wembley. So I think that's probably an indicator that they're big overseas as well, just like WWE. I do think that it speaks volumes to AEW and the guys that they've developed. Specifically, Cody really developed there and at Ring of Honor when he came back. And Jade Cargill was big in AEW, and she never won the big belt there, but she won the big belt in WWE. So how about that? You know,
wasn't Jade Cargill a long-running champion in AEW?
She was the TBS champ, not
TBS
the AEW champ.
Okay,
yeah, but the TBS champ is like their intercontinental title.
Sure.
Yeah. So
yeah, the TBS and TNT champs are, one is a men's title, one's a women's title, and it's like right below the world title, right?
Exactly. Great title names too.
Yeah, we've talked longer than this match went.
Well, we could talk about the other match, the opener, which I almost was like, is this the lead? I don't know. I didn't know how to slot it in, and I kind of screwed them a little bit. But the opener, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes picks up the win after a little bit of weird stuff happening with the referee. But Cody picks up the win over Drew McIntyre. Dom, What you think of this matchup?
Before getting into the nitty-gritty of the match, one thing we wondered when they brought back the World Heavyweight Championship was that, oh, this is the Seth Rollins needs a belt.
Yes.
For a longest time, once Roman Reigns consolidated the belts as the undisputed, universal, every other superlative you can have championship, it was pretty clear that that was the big belt.
Mm-hmm.
And that Roman holding it was the big guy. And even when they brought back the World Heavyweight Championship with Seth, it was, that wasn't really the big belt, or it wasn't on par with the belt that Roman had. But since Roman has dropped the belt, not only has Roman done openers on premium live events, as we saw recently, but the belt that he passed on to Cody is now no longer clearly the number one title.
Yeah.
That belt is now opening a show.
Really
While
odd,
CM
right?
Punk and Jey Uso main event the show for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that that's a criticism as much as it's simply an observation. And there's probably, I think there's something good to be said about it, that they no longer look at the World Heavyweight Championship as kind of the A minus belt.
Yeah, I always like having a proper champ and just having one proper champ. So I don't like the idea. And you're right, the way that they build it, specifically this show, that they're opening. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes is the opener, not the main event.
Yeah.
And you would think that CM Punk and Jey Uso would be the main event, but realistically, I mean, they made it the show made it pretty obvious that Cody was going over, right? I don't think he's going to lose in an opener. And I really thought Drew McIntyre should have a legitimate shot at winning the title over Cody Rhodes. This wasn't like a throwaway rivalry, you know?
No, and this may be the fact that it's a Saturday night's main event, which is no longer a big deal
Mm-hmm.
in the wrestling world. They added stipulations the previous night on SmackDown that if Cody Rhodes gets counted out or disqualified, he loses the title.
What up, Fixer?
Hello, Fixer from across the pond. Very good. So that was the intrigue here, was would Cody do something to get himself disqualified? And they teased it early, like he inadvertently shoved the ref while the ref tried to break up him stomping away at Drew McIntyre in the corner. Cody barely beat a count out to get back into the ring, or Drew would have won the belt there. Now, towards the end of the show, Drew shoved. Actually, let's go even before that. Drew tosses the title belt to Cody. He wanted it to either do the Eddie Guerrero, like, oh, he hit me with the belt, or bait Cody into hitting him with it. Cody takes the belt, shakes his head, and hands the belt back to the ref. Like, no, you're not going to bait me into getting disqualified here. And sure enough, he hands the belt to the ref. The ref goes to put the belt back out of the ring, and Cody catches a one-step Claymore for a 2 count. Another thing that happens a little later is that, again, the belt is in the ring. Each guy does a crossbody off the ropes. Each man crawls toward the title belt. Drew gets to it first, but Cody ducks the shot with the belt. Drew then drops the belt. Cody hits a DDT onto the belt that had fallen onto the mat right under Drew, as you know, he just dropped the belt. Really cool that it was kind of it almost looked like it could have been inadvertent, but they're trying to play it up to like, oh yeah, Cody knew that the belt was there and DDT'd him on purpose into the belt. And the referee, who had been caught in the corner and was down, did not see this, because they're teasing like, oh, if the ref saw that, would he have disqualified Cody Rhodes? So I'm sure on SmackDown this coming week, we're going to hear all about from Drew McIntyre how he should be the champ because Cody should have been disqualified. Anyway, Cody hits a crossroads. After tossing the belt out of the ring, the ref regains his senses and counts the pinfall. Match goes almost 19 minutes, second longest match of the night. I'm with you that I could have seen Drew getting the belt here.
Yeah.
Drew deserves a good title run. He's doing some of the best work of his career. He's been awesome.
Yeah. Uh, um, this match was really good. This is probably the second best match of the night.
Yep.
I think it was better than the Punk Jey Uso match, and then the Tiffany Stratton Jay
Better than the
Cargill squash. How good is a squash, right?
Mhm.
So I think this is probably the second best match of the night. I do appreciate certain aspects of the match. So they did a test of strength, and then they did a test of strength again further into the match, because it's always kind of like a stereotype. You do the test of strength stuff in the
Mhm.
beginning, and then like, okay, we'll never test of strength again. But then like they did it again, and the style in which Cody does it is a lot more athletic than goofy, because sometimes they just go like this. It's real
Yes.
goofy, and they hold their hands like this. Cody lowers his gets in a lower level like wrestling stance and grips up, and he's like lowered his level like a real fighter would or a real wrestler would. So of course
Mhm.
I love that. So that
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. So I think that Cody has a creative. I would steal that in a heartbeat. I thought it's a creative way to go into the test of strength without making it look silly and ridiculous, but it's still the
Yep.
test of strength. And
It wasn't Hogan Warrior.
no, Hogan Warrior is insane.
With everybody just shaking.
Yeah. No, the Hogan Warrior is something else. I have a couple things here too from the Fixer.
Sure. What do we got?
I think they're setting the scene for a Cody heel turn. Sure seems like it, right? Because after the
Right?
match, he yelled at Drew. I was like, that's not what a face does. He yells at the guy while he's down on the ground after he beat him. That
Yeah.
sounds like a heel. But they're giving you little glimpses of it, right?
It's like we're all wagging our fingers, going, "That's not very polite, Cody."
And then I can see Jay turning heel on Jimmy as well soon.
They've been teasing that for a while.
And then, by the way, I heard Tiffany Stratton is injured, which is why they had her drop the title to Jade.
Okay, because they have played up that Jade injured Tiffany Stratton's knee 8 days earlier on SmackDown against the ring ropes.
Mhm. I can totally see the Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso heel turn, because they did the turn before and the match didn't go so great at WrestleMania, and
Yeah.
I could see them wanting to fix that, because
Mhm.
that should be a great match between the two brothers. They're both big. They're both big in the company. You know, they should have a good match against the brothers at WrestleMania.
And it would be sort of the reverse. Wasn't Jimmy the heel the first time they met?
Yeah,
And Jay was the
exactly.
babyface. So if Jay's now turning heel, that would be the wrinkle there.
Hmm. And it would make more sense, because then Jimmy could win, and Jimmy feels like the underdog, right? Because he's the one that's eating a lot of pins and stuff like that. So maybe he
Yes.
could be like the underdog face, and Jay's the heel, jerk. Anyways, um, which he's played before, really well, quite frankly. You
Mhm.
know, um, yeah. So anything else about the Cody Rhodes and the Drew McIntyre match?
I thought it was cool considering this was the opening match of the night that Cody was on the ring apron after the fight on the floor. Drew runs into the opposite ropes, charges at Cody, and shoulder blocks him from the apron all the way onto the announce table, which collapses under him. So
Yeah.
not only did that serve as a great spot, because if Cody gets counted out, the title changes hands.
Hmm.
So Cody barely beat the 10 count. But I thought it was like, this is the first match of the show, and the announce table's been destroyed. Usually they wait for that. They're giving us to us in the first match of the night. How about that?
Yeah. Hey, uh, they yeah, that I guess, because it was almost like it should have been in the main event, Dom.
Right.
Boy, oh boy. I
If
do.
you watch Saturday night's main event backwards, does it all make sense?
Yeah, doesn't it make a lot more sense if it's backwards? Um, so I do have to say though, one funny dumb thing I'm going to point out. They kept
Only one?
Only one.
Okay.
They kept showing Post Malone as this WWE super fan, way too much. And in addition to that, the green shirt guy was there. He's the super fan. The green shirt guy in the front, and it's like a smiley face he wears on his t-shirt, and he said like every wrestling show ever.
Oh, okay.
I will
Oh,
pull up
that guy's getting shown up. That's not good.
here.
If I get Post Malone and Jelly Roll confused, will other people nod along with me?
Well, they both have they both are in the same category of people that used to make music but seem to be done with it, and they're just doing all kinds of WWE stuff. It's this guy
Okay.
here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's look out for him next time. He's in the front row of almost every pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite a gig he's got there.
Yeah. He always lands the tickets, and that is the fan they should be highlighting, not Post Malone. Anything else you got from this show, Dom?
They announced that John Cena's final opponent, which will be on the next Saturday night's main event, December 13th, will be the winner of a tournament that will take place on both Raw and SmackDown over the next few weeks. December 13th, mark it down, Saturday night's main event, John Cena's final match. Who will that be against? Perhaps a returning Gunther, perhaps someone else. They're trying to tease that it's going to be someone he has not wrestled before. So it's not going to be a nostalgia gig.
Oh, it'll be tough to tell what they'll do there. I wonder if he's just going to win, because it's like traditionally the person retiring should lose and give the next guy a push. But I've also seen them, like I saw Sting, for example, win the tag team belts, and he retired with the belts. So,
because nobody wanted him to lose.
Right, exactly.
Like Sting goes in and says, "Okay, we'll drop the belts to the Bucks." You're like, "No." He's like, "What am I going to do with it? I'm retiring." But John Cena, have they done a good job of booking John Cena's run here, where he's gotten a good mix of wins and losses?
Yeah,
he does well in the Royal Rumble. I'll just recap it briefly. He does well in the Royal Rumble, almost wins that, does win Elimination Chamber, turns heel, goes to WrestleMania, wins the title at WrestleMania. Now he's got the big belt. He beats Randy Orton. He beats R-Truth. He beats CM Punk. He loses the belt to Cody Rhodes. He loses to Brock Lesnar in a match that was supposed to set up Lesnar for a longer program starting soon to build to WrestleMania. But then John Cena beats AJ Styles.
In a fun one.
So they've done a good job of mixing in wins and losses. It hasn't been all Super Cena, nor have they been just, making him put over everybody on his way out the door.
Stylistically, it's all been different too. You had
Cena,
you had Cena versus AJ Styles all doing doing the video game move thing where they're just doing everybody's moves, which was a lot.
I heard it called a love letter to professional wrestling.
Yeah, and they had Cena versus Cody. The first one was dreadful, but at least he won the belt. But the second one was probably his best match, and that was like just a really good match with like chairs, like some weapons and stuff like that, and it was really hard hitting. So
yeah, it was the best John Cena's wrestled in for a long time. You could even see him. You could read his lips after the match saying to Cody Rhodes, "This is the best I can do." Right. He may have also beaten Logan Paul in there at one point, right? He faced Logan Paul as well. So he's had a good run of wins, but also some appropriate losses.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the title back to Cody Rhodes, lost to Brock Lesnar. So him losing to Gunther, I don't think is a blemish on the John Cena retirement tour.
Yeah. But I do have to say it's been pretty good. I've liked it so far. And
I have to.
I wonder if it's Gunther, then ideally he'd lose Cena, But if it's like somebody else, like I'm trying to think, maybe your mic.
I'm talking. What's up?
Okay,
Now
go
I'm
ahead.
talking.
Perfect, good. No,
I was not talking while you were talking.
No, it was it exploded. It made like a crazy sound.
Oh, okay.
It's better now. Um, starting over. If there is someone that John Cena is going to face, maybe like Dirty Dom, he could lose. He could beat Dirty Dom. I think Dirty Dom would be all
Oh.
right to lose the IC title to John Cena, and then he like retires with it, something like that, like they did with
Oh,
Sting.
wow. I'd like to see that match. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think that they'll put up against Cena?
For a long time, I've wondered if they'd give the rub to Gunther,
Yeah, right.
a returning Gunther. But yeah, if it's Dirty Dom, oh, that would be a fun match to watch.
I just feel like if he faces Gunther, you can't have Gunther lose to him, right? He's got to really. I would hope that he would win.
Yeah, I would hope that Gunther would win as well. But I also would think it would be a great match.
Yeah, either way. No, it would definitely be good. I mean, it's Gunther, for God's sakes. It's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's probably what
Yeah,
they.
that would be a lot of fun. So they were teasing that as well, setting up the next Saturday night's main event. John Cena, I think, has 2 Raws left that he's going to appear at, and that's it. Survivor Series, he may be there as well at the end of November.
Yeah, okay.
He's got 2 Raws. He's got Raw in New York, Raw in Boston, Survivor Series, and Saturday night's main event, December 13th.
I wonder if he's actually done after that. Like, if this is an actual retirement.
Is this a Brett Favre? What's going on?
Is it a Brett Favre? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Where oh, I might be back, but or Brandon Graham just came out of retirement for the Eagles.
Oh,
There's a couple. Here's what I'm thinking. If it theoretically should be his retirement, but I could see them Saudis shelling out a lot of money to get John Cena. They're already shelling out a ton of money to get WrestleMania.
yes.
John, you want some blood money, baby? Come and get it, right?
Never say never in professional wrestling,
Never
right?
say never. Yeah. If there's one thing I know about pro wrestlers, they seem to like the money, so they will chase it.
Well, it's tough to give up the spotlight. You're doing that your whole career.
Yeah.
For most of your life, if you're lucky enough.
You could even see it with Triple H, right? I mean, he's not a wrestler. He's not an active wrestler, but he's all over every promo and he's all over every show.
He's all over the trailer for WrestleMania 42.
Right. He's the booker and he's the guy.
Why is he there?
He's at the poker table with all the wrestlers and he's like, dude, you are the booker. You're not in this anymore. You're not part of the storyline.
No.
But hilarious. Anyways,
I want to see random accountants in these promos. I want to see George from accounting in the next WrestleMania trailer.
Oh yeah, like how about the head of marketing or something like that?
Yes,
Hi.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you work in the office right now. That's what you do. Anyways, still good stuff though from the show here. Is it time for the thumb drive, Dom?
I think it is. We've talked about the road to WrestleMania and even the road to Saturday night's main event next month. It's time for us to drive a different sort of vehicle here. You and I are going to distill this entire program we watched into a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. There are no ties. There are also no... there we go. Sorry about that. I just noticed as I put my right hand up. There are no star ratings. There are no letter grades. There are no number grades. You are taking this Saturday night's main event, pass or fail.
Dom, we're not Dave Meltzer. We don't give 7 stars at the Tokyo Dome. We don't give 2 stars at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Yes, that is the new name of Philadelphia's arena. They have
Oh,
ran out of names. Xfinity Mobile Arena. I think it's like its 4th or 5th name. 2 stars at the No. We don't do stars. We only say the show was good or the show was bad. Are you ready, Dom?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Dom, why did you give this show a thumbs down?
It doesn't seem like WWE cared that much. It's a show that maybe doesn't get a lot of reach internationally. It's only on Peacock. It's not even on NBC prime time, which was the whole idea of Saturday Night's Main Event. And as I'm watching the show, I'm saying there's nothing surprising going on here.
Yeah. I gave it, I'm telling you, I was like, I almost just left it at this. I was like,
That's not allowed. There are no ties.
I said thumbs up, but it was a boring show. Even with CM Punk winning the title, and even with Jade winning it, but like Jade just wins in a squash. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then like the one cool thing I wanted to see was Drew win the title, and that didn't happen. If it
Yep.
wasn't for the triple threat, I probably would have given it a thumbs down. But I just said the fact that they just had so many titles on the line, I was like, it's at least okay. Now was this like the best pay-per-view in the world? No. Like, do you need to go back and watch CM Punk versus Jey Uso? I'd skip it.
No.
So I gave it a thumbs up, but it was a very generous thumbs up.
Okay.
So I'm almost wish I would have went thumbs down with you, so we could have said a little worse about it. But
Hey, when they zig, we zag. Well, that's better. I'm glad that we could disagree, but for reasonable reasons.
And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I think we were both probably like around here. Like it wasn't the worst show in the world, but
No, but I just couldn't give this a thumbs up.
yeah. We have a couple of things here we have one from the Fixer.
Okay.
This is interesting. I had to watch it on YouTube, and I knew the match results going in thanks to WWE dropping the WrestleMania teaser.
Okay.
Did you see the teaser during the show, or was this just at a separate time? I'm curious.
They did it on SmackDown. They had it on X during the week. Then they did it on SmackDown. Then they did it again during Saturday Night's Main Event.
Oh, because CM Punk's at the table.
Punk's at the table. Lesnar's at the table. Cody's at the table.
Yeah, so you knew. Wow. So I agree with Dom. It's a thumbs down. No, it's a good point.
Yeah, I wasn't looking that much into it as far as the trailer for WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is so far ahead. Like there's enough time to swap belts and to give guys a push. Like Brock Lesnar's not even here now, so you see him there and say, okay, well, but we always figured they were bringing back Brock Lesnar for a run to build up to WrestleMania. So I did not see that as a spoiler. I'm glad that you got to watch it, Fixer.
Yeah, I was curious how you watched it as well, because we were talking about like, did anybody watch this show? But if it's
anyone
on YouTube,
non-US have access to it live.
So did you watch it for free on YouTube? Which would be like, wow, I think a lot of people would watch that.
Or do you need like YouTube Premium for that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's good that you had access to it. I'm glad that non-US customers had access to watch the show. Very good.
Dom, is it time for Cheap Heat?
It is, and I think it's extra cheap and it's extra hot because you said you had something special planned for us.
This is true. Maybe I could start us off, and then we'll kick it back over to you. How's that sound?
Absolutely. Our low-tech, high-tech will be on full display here.
All right.
We don't have photos, but we do have screen shares.
We do have a screen share here. And as I do this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. This is a segment from Maven and Chris Van Fleet speaking together on the Chris Van Fleet Show, huge on YouTube. And I said, let's do something a little bit different. Let's have a look at this. Dom, you haven't listened to this yet, and
I have not.
let's see what you think here about this little segment they have.
Maven is well
What was
dressed.
the original goal when you started the YouTube channel with Zach?
$5,000 a month.
Okay.
I said to myself, if I can somehow bring $5,000 extra dollars a month in, it will change my world.
That's a big goal because I think
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it's like, can I make $1?
Yeah.
Okay. I think AdSense has a threshold of if you hit $100, you get paid out.
Right.
$5,000.
Yeah.
Did you set a time limit for that?
I thought if I can be making, remember, we're splitting everything 50-50.
Yeah.
And so 5,000 meant we're making 10,000 on the channel.
That's a good living. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it just where I was at, $5,000 extra a month would have just changed my world. And we were doing that month 2.
Month 2.
But we surpassed it.
How long did it take you to get to 100,000 subscribers?
What was that? 100,000? It was a few months because the last time the second interview you and I had,
Yeah.
that was when we were, I think, around like 56,000 subscribers. The channel had just began, but it was starting to pick up traction. Our videos were doing better as far as the number of views it got and the click-through rate. It advanced before our subscribers went up. And once you start getting subscribers up, more come. And I mean, now, with the Buff video, I think we did like 4,000 new subscribers in a day.
Wow.
And you've said it, and it's accurate. It's hard to get someone to subscribe to YouTube. It's not easy.
And it's a crazy thing because I say this all the time, but people watch YouTube like there's a finite number of subscriptions that they can have.
Yeah.
Like they hold these like, I can only subscribe to 3 channels this month. So you bet. Right. You can subscribe to literally every channel, and it's it costs you nothing, but it helps the creators so much.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how many people will watch this video and never subscribe.
Yeah.
They won't even check to see if they're subscribed. They'll just go, it'll pop up in my algorithm. I'm good.
I was returning something at Best Buy yesterday, and as I'm in line returning it, two people came up and, love the videos. Happy to see you. Do you live around here? Yeah, 5 minutes up the street. No way. And then I'm like, oh, so you like the video? And they, said, oh yeah, like what you did with Buff. And I'm like, I always ask, are you a subscriber? And you'd be surprised how honest they are. They're like, nah, man, you just pop up on my feed. And so you're right.
Hit the button.
Yeah, I know.
So I've turned it into like a fun thing, especially on the podcast and the audio version. I'll be like, hit a superplex on that follow button. Hit a drop kick on that follow button. So right now, Maven says the most devastating, most painful move is a power bomb. So hit a power bomb on that subscribe button right now. Please.
Love it. I love it. I try to shy away from asking for that just to be different because I know everyone does it. And I know how tempting it is to say that, but
I so rarely do it on YouTube.
Yeah, I never wanted to be that guy that's hit and click like and subscribe, click like and subscribe. I just never wanted to. Is
that the white guy voice again?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not doing a radio voice against you.
Oh, that was so good.
Last I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, like Chris's radio voice is literally perfect.
We could do an entire hour.
Yeah, we could.
7:19 in the morning.
Yeah.
I used to work at a radio station.
You can tell. Hey, it's bumper to bumper traffic out there. It looks like mattresses on the highway. 45 minutes past the hour.
That's it.
So we can't tell people to subscribe anymore? I'm confused.
Well, I'm not taking Maven's approach. We are absolutely telling people this is cheap heat. And we do Cheap Heat for subscribers. If you're coming in right now and you happen to see us, Chris Van Vliet is right. Subscribe. It's so helpful to all the creators. Also, from a YouTube perspective, and knowing how much we make, and knowing that he made $5,000 in the first 2 months, that's remarkably good.
Yes.
Maven has a great channel, and so does Chris Van Vliet. Chris is awesome at really listening to people and just having a nice conversation with them. Not too shock jockey. I think he's a good guy to talk to people, but he listens and then goes back to them. A lot of people, like, they just start talking a lot about themselves and forget how to interview.
Yeah, it's a good interview show. Yes.
Maven really sets up. Maven's just a really nice guy that was in the wrestling business, that is a normal dude that works in finance now, and he's got a successful YouTube channel, and he's likable. And he does stuff like he went to AEW and he went behind the scenes. He wanted to see how far he can go. So like little dumb YouTube challenges like that. But everyone liked him. They're like, oh yeah, Maven. So he got to Tony Khan, and Tony's like, yeah, come on into my office, and like they start talking and stuff like that. So he's just like, so beloved by everyone, that, or liked at this point. I shouldn't say beloved. He's a liked person on YouTube, and that's hard to be, especially in the wrestling world.
I did see a video of his maybe in the last month or two where he was trying to take as many finishers as he could. So he's in this wrestling training facility, and there's all these big wrestlers, and they come in and they just hit finishers on him. And he was trying to take as many as possible until at one point his he has a bad shoulder, I think, and it popped out on him. And he had to have pop his shoulder back in. He's kind of like, all right, I'm done. So he got up to however many finishers. He didn't get to the 100 that he wanted. Which just seems insane that you're just going to go to a wrestling facility and take 100 finishing moves.
Especially if you've been out of the business that long, and it sounds like he's injured. He's like injury prone, or at least can't really do it as much anymore. But interesting guy.
Maybe he's ramping up for a comeback, so you go to one of these WWE pay-per-views and kick out a 99 finishers.
And I'm not lying either. He did say it's tough to ask to subscribe, but it does help the content creators out a lot. So if you're watching right now, please subscribe. It does mean a lot. So
absolutely help us climb that next mountain. Live streamers, thanks for being here with us. If you ever want to check out the archive of not only these full shows, but also the edited clips, John, that you make, and the hashtag shorts, the under 60-second videos, those are all at the YouTube channel. Don't Bury the Lead, a wrestling channel on YouTube. Just type Don't Bury the Lead. We should pop up near the top. If you want to keep typing wrestling, we'll show up definitely near the top.
Before we hop into Cheap Heat here, Fixer answered us. Yes, I watched it on YouTube, but they put it in it looks like an insane amount of ads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got it for free. It looks to be on YouTube, but there's a lot of ads. So, okay.
So it really was like a regular TV show.
It was just a regular TV show. Yeah,
you get 30 seconds into the match. It's like, oh, let's do 4 minutes worth of ads.
Yeah. One other thing for the Fixer before we jump into Cheap Heat here. I still remember Maven eliminating The Undertaker in the Royal Rumble years ago. That is absurd that happened.
Very cool.
That's got to be
all right. Good for Maven.
Yeah, good for him.
How high did his pants go up on that suit? Or was he wearing like a cummerbund?
He's dressed pretty goofy in that. I think it was dressed nice, but like, yeah, that thing, whatever that was, it was like
it was unusual.
It's like a
he was very neat.
Girdle?
Well, looked real well put together there. Not mocking it. I'm just saying it was unusual.
All right. So, Dom, what do you have for Cheap Heat here?
Up first in Cheap Heat. Well, it's the end of Halloween weekend here. Do you like the NFL? That's Jahmyr Gibbs and his girlfriend, Nicole Madison. They are dressed up as Jeff Hardy and Lita for Halloween. I love it. There's Jahmyr Gibbs in the background. He's doing a really good Jeff Hardy. He's got the arm gear on. He's got the face paint. He's got the mannerisms. He's wearing a replica WWE Championship belt. And Nicole Madison, she's got the women's belt there. I will leave the sound off, but just so you could see, she starts off, and he makes his entrance, and there he is.
No,
And
you
he's
can play
doing
the video,
dances.
Dom. You
He's
won't
got
get,
everything down. Pretty cool stuff.
you can play the video, Dom. You won't get struck for that.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's got it down. He really does. It's interesting because he's so young that he would be really into Jeff Hardy, but I guess that kind of makes sense, I guess.
The Hardys have been around for a while, and there are things like video platforms. There are ways to find stuff from back in the archives there on all these wrestling promotions. So,
And considering all the crazy stuff he's done, I'm sure there's at least highlight reels, right?
sure, I mean, Jeff Hardy is not a difficult wrestler to find if you're into pro wrestling on the interwebbies.
True.
Very good. So happy Halloween to everybody. Up next, a little bit of wrestling business here. This comes to us from WrestleZone. We're going to have a lot of WrestleZone and Wrestling Inc. here. Chris Jericho abandons a recent trademark. This is kind of funny. He had tried to trademark the term the Jericho Vortex, which people were using to make fun of him. So he was like, you've heard the term monetize your haters. He was trying to trademark the Jericho Vortex. He filed it April of last year. The United States Patent and Trademark Office website states that the trademark is officially dead as of October 20th, since Jericho didn't file the statement of use or extension request. Abandoned because no statement of use or extension request was timely filed after notice of allowance was issued. So they were going to give it to him, apparently. The Jericho Vortex. The Jericho Vortex. The term came into existence after some of Jericho's critics argued that throughout his run in AEW, the wrestlers who worked with the inaugural AEW World Champion got dragged into a lengthy and unnecessary feud with him. John, how true is the Jericho Vortex? True or not? Was this a fun gimmick? And what do you think of Chris Jericho trying to trademark the term that was used to insult him, basically?
I love that Jericho sees the fickle fans referring him as the Jericho Vortex and does something even more fickle and tries to copyright the term. And I think it's brilliant, and it's so fickle. It's like, who cares? You're a legend. You don't have to worry about these nerds that think you're that are just complaining about you on the internet, But I don't think I've liked all of Jericho's work in AEW. I'll stand by that. He got a little stale because he was like on TV too much,
okay,
like for years, and never took a break. So he never took those breaks you really need to have. So he's finally taking a break now. So,
okay. As far as the wrestlers who got to work with him, was he able to elevate some talent? Because one of the neat things you can do when you're a veteran and you've had a great career, and Chris Jericho's a legend in pro wrestling, is that your presence can elevate the people around you. Did you see him able to do that during his AEW run?
yeah, I'd have to think a little bit. One that comes to mind is MJF for sure. He had a good rivalry with MJF. He had a good rivalry with Orange Cassidy, where so Orange Cassidy's gimmick is like orange crush squeeze, like freshly squeezed, like orange juice almost. Like, I don't know. So, and then Jericho's,
the more you explain it.
yeah. And then Jericho's gimmick was like he was drinking a little bit of the bubbly. He had made his own wine, his own champagne. After he won the AEW title, he's always just drinking a little bit of the bubbly. So, so like he was drinking, he made his own champagne. So they had a wrestling match with orange juice and champagne, which is a drink. I forget what it's called. Orange juice.
It almost sounds like a screwdriver. That's a mimosa. They have that at
Mimosa.
brunch.
Yeah, it was a mimosa match because they used orange juice and champagne, and this was during the pandemic, so you needed to do weird shit, you know. So they were like doing this weird thing with no fans there, and Orange Cassidy threw him into the mimosa and like won the match. That's how he won it. So they did some dumb silly match, but it was good for Orange Cassidy because like Orange Cassidy's gimmick is 100% comedy. So Jericho just went with it. So he did a good job with that. That's what I would say is a really good one.
Very good. Chris Jericho, not on TV for AEW, but he and Kevin Owens also not on TV. This comes to us from Wrestling Inc. They were seen together at a hockey game. They're over at watching the Dallas Stars, and they're not going to show it to us there on Instagram. But they're at watching the Dallas Stars, I believe. Let's see here. The Dallas Stars, Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning beat the Stars 2-1, and they had the caption on their photo, "Best friends." Not only Canadians, but also guys who've been to, they've done some time on the indie circuit over in Japan, plenty of major stuff. So the fact that it's an AEW guy and a WWE guy, no big deal. Two veterans, two friends enjoying a hockey game. What say you about Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho hanging with each other?
Yeah, Kevin Owens seems to have been taking some time off too, right? So he's probably hanging out with Chris
neck
Jericho.
injury.
And he's hanging out with Chris Jericho. And if you think about it too, like they had a great relationship and working relationship in WWE. They're both Canadian. And you see it too with the girls like Mercedes Moné and Bailey. They're always together.
Yes.
Even though like they're, Mercedes Moné threw the titles in the trash and left WWE and then carved her own path. But yeah, I think it's cool. I wonder if, I don't know if Jericho will go back. This is something that the Fixer brought up. I'm almost certain Chris Jericho is going to appear at the Royal Rumble. I don't know that he would go back just yet. I know Tony really wants to keep him, and that means he'll probably get paid more money if he stays at AEW. He could go to WWE, but he doesn't really get along with Triple H. So I think they'd have to have a serious conversation. I think he had more heat than CM Punk ever did with Triple H.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, how does it compare to CM Punk?
No, I think they really didn't like each other. They were pinned up against each other as they were coming up when he moved into the WWE. He got bullied by Triple H because Triple H didn't like him because he was a WCW guy. But then they would have good matches and stuff like that too. So
they would. I mean, because Jericho's awesome. But Jericho moved before the buyout. He was that was the whole Y2J thing.
Yes.
And I thought that was a pretty successful run for him.
No, he did great in the Y2J stuff. But I think that Triple H was threatened by him. So, and Triple H used to be a very, very shrewd political wrestler, if you can remember.
Ah, yes. And it paid off later when Triple H got into the real office.
Yeah. What do you think? You think Chris Jericho's headed back to WWE or?
Oh my goodness! Everybody winds up there eventually, even if it's only just for a random appearance somewhere in a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, he'll definitely get put into the Hall of Fame. I wonder if he'll be back soon. I don't think it'd be bad for either party because he's done all he can in AEW, and he could just go to the WWE. And AEW has plenty of talent,
When he made the move to AEW, it was still to be a star. I don't think if he goes to WWE, he needs to do it to be a star.
Yes, and he's not really a star in AEW anymore. So, yeah, I'd have to say going to WWE and then maybe he'll go back to AEW. Who knows? Something like that. Maybe a short stint in WWE and then back to AEW. I don't know.
Doesn't AEW's success overall kind of disprove the whole Jericho vortex?
Yes.
And he put over the whole company.
Yes. It's a stupid thing. It's a stupid thing that people on the internet say that hate their lives.
If you are out there on the internet hating your life, subscribe to Don't Bury the Lead. Help us climb the next mountain. Give your life some meaning and purpose. Join Don't Bury the Lead, a wrestling channel on YouTube. All right. Up next, more AEW and WWE stuff. AEW's Darby Allin wants this former WWE star to jump out of a plane with him, presumably while wearing parachutes. Former WWE star Hornswoggle, a midget wrestler, perhaps the most famous midget wrestler of the 90s, and early 2000s. Hornswoggle has revealed that AEW's Darby Allin wants to skydive with him. Hornswoggle said this on the Ariel Helwani show. He and Darby Allin are apparently good friends. So there are people who have histories in both or either promotion who are also good friends. He said that Hornswoggle said he and his son Landon were with Allen, and the daring wrestler pitched his desire to go skydiving with him. So this is a real thing. He wants me to jump out of a plane, and he's wondering how he's going to jump out of the plane, Hornswoggle. I don't know. I don't know that I'd jump out of a plane even with Darby Allin egging me on. But apparently his son Landon might want to do it. So if Hornswoggle's son wants to do this more than Hornswoggle does, then maybe Darby Allin and the Hornswoggle Jr. there will be the ones jumping out of the plane. Darby Allin, known for doing a lot of daredevil stuff, not only in the ring, but in his life overall. Recently went mountain climbing up Mount Everest and was posting about that on his social media. Was talked about. We covered it here a few times that he was he's a thrill seeker and likes to challenge himself both in and out of the ring. And who knows, maybe Hornswoggle and or Hornswoggle's son will be up next for the Darby Allin challenge of jumping out of a moving flying airplane. And we spoke about MJF before. Former TNA president Scott D'Amore, this is talking about here from Wrestling Inc., doubles down on Nick Nemeth's indie challenge to AEW star MJF. Apparently, this has been going around the interwebbies. Scott D'Amore wants this to happen. MJF had challenged Nick Nemeth, you may know as Dolph Ziggler from his WWE run, but he's had a great run as Nick Nemeth as well in other promotions and on the indie scene. MJF had challenged Nemeth to a match in Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, but the bout has yet to take place since the AEW star has seemingly not confirmed his participation. But D'Amore wants this to happen. Of course he does. It'd be a great match, and these are two big stars coming to major Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I hope this wasn't MJF just saying stuff for the sake of staying at this. This would be cool to do it. Scott D'Amore's pushing for it. How much would you want to see MJF and Dolph Ziggler in a one-off, sort of on neutral turf?
I like this idea a lot, and I specifically like the fact that Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, I would like to see one of their shows. I'm curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I like that there's a little Canadian promotion, and I'd like to check them out. And when I think Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, I'm like, it better be like they're all wrestling like Bret Hart and stuff. That would be good.
It's old Calgary Stampede.
That's what I was thinking. You know?
Scott D'Amore, very well traveled, both as a behind the scenes executive, creative, and also on screen at times. But this is maybe the only way you'd get a WWE and an AEW guy, or even a TNA guy that's affiliated with WWE still, to do this, is if it was on like a neutral site, like the Super Bowl. It's not a home game for either guy. I think this would be really interesting. I think the two of them are very good in the ring, very good on the mic. I think it'd be very entertaining. I'm cheering for you, Scott D'Amore and Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. If they are each allowed to do this based on their current contracts, I think it would be cool as well.
Yeah, you could even have Nick Nemeth in AAW too. That would be good, because I think he's going to be good no matter where he goes.
Yes, now he may have to let his TNA contract expire by then.
Mhm.
But yeah, if would you like to see Nick Nemeth, if he's available, have a run in AEW?
Yeah, he already has said he's not doing NXT. He said he left. You know, when he left WWE, or they were talking about like TNA versus NXT and stuff like that, and they had an interview with him. He said he was interested in AEW, went to TNA, and then ultimately at the end of the day, he kind of he stuck with TNA, but he doesn't want to do anything. He wants to be a champion. He wants to push himself. So AEW is a place where he could do that.
Very good.
And he could really become a small-time champ there, I feel like. He'd have a shot.
All right, you think he could challenge for the world title if he went to AEW?
Not the world title, no.
The TNT title?
But yes, TNT, more TNT, and then there's a couple other titles floating around that I'm forgetting the names of. But
the Ring of Honor title, the one that Omega and
oh yeah, there's a Continental one.
The Continental one, yep.
Yeah, they have a Continental title. They have the TNT title. I think the under titles, and then they have the tag team titles, and they also have the trios titles.
The trios.
So he could win
Nick
the trios.
Nemeth, perhaps his brother and perhaps someone else could be trios.
Well, his brother sued the company, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
Okay, then maybe that's part of the problem.
That might be part of the problem, right?
Might be part of the problem. Speaking of wrestlers and wondering if they'll be back or not, this comes to us from WrestleZone. It's Mickie James and Nick Aldis.
Mm-hmm.
Mickie James says Nick Aldis is far from done wrestling. We brought this up around WrestleMania season when Kevin Owens had his neck injury and had to bail on his WrestleMania match against Randy Orton. And we were wondering who was going to answer the challenge to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania this past year in 2025. It wound up being, I Believe in Joe Hendry, which was a great moment. And, as far as short matches go, it was fantastic. Couldn't have asked more of it. But I thought maybe Nick Aldis would have been the one to answer that challenge. Nick Aldis is about the age of Cody Rhodes. In fact, when Cody left WWE, his first big program in the U.S. was for the NWA title. I don't think Nick Aldis is done. He looks like he keeps himself in good physical condition.
Yeah, I know. We always think he's going to wrestle again, right?
Right? I mean, there's even been jokes that he'll wrestle Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
These are two former multi-time NWA World's Heavyweight Champions, are the general managers of the two major WWE brands.
What was Nick Aldis in?
He was in NWA. Big
the
champ
Power
there.
Hour?
When they did Power Hour, but even before that, he traded belts with Cody Rhodes during the 10 Pounds of Gold series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he can go. He held at one point, his title run was over 1,000 days for one of his title runs there. Mickie James was speaking with Chris Van Vliet, who was featured earlier in the Cheap Heat segment. And she says, yes, he's far from done. I mean, I think if he was ever given, and I would pray for the perfect opportunity in story or whatever, but I think if he's ever given an opportunity to put on his boots and get out in that ring, I know it would be a dream come true for him. Aldis last wrestled in a 5-way title match at Appalachian Championship Wrestling in October 2023. In the months prior, he made a brief return to TNA Wrestling, where he unsuccessfully challenged for the TNA World Championship. Across 2 reigns, Aldis famously held the NWA World's Heavyweight title for over 1,000 days. His second one, which began in October 2018, reached 1,043 days. Raw GM Adam Pearce recently pitched a match between himself and Aldis, noting how they could have some fun with it. They've got some if you know your wrestling beyond WWE, the Raw general manager and the SmackDown general manager have quite a history in the squared circle. Would you like to see Nick Aldis put on the boots again in the WWE and wrestle?
Being a champ for NWA and for 1,000 days and then over 1,000 days, that's completely nuts. And end of the day, I'd have to say, yeah, you'd want to see that. This isn't like Jerry the King Lawler versus Michael Cole, and Michael Cole was like horrible in this match. This wouldn't be like a celebrity where we'd have to, where they'd have to do all these planned spots. Like these guys could go in there and just go, right?
Yep.
I would say like, for the celebrity thing, they'd have to like memorize the entire match, practice it like 400 times, and then and then do it. That's what the celebrities do, right?
Yep. And it has to be a tag match.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I think Nick Aldis would be fun to see in the ring. I don't think he's done. I was surprised when he came to WWE as the SmackDown general manager. I thought he was coming to WWE to wrestle.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's still got it. We will start the "You Still Got It" chants for Nick Aldis if he ever wants to lace up the boots and get in there. All right, up next. You remember Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig? We just finished up the World Series here in the U.S. The L.A. Dodgers repeated as World Series champions, knocking off the Toronto Blue Jays in 7 games. Game 7 started while Saturday night's main event was going on last night. Little baseball story in wrestling here. Major League Baseball legend Wade Boggs confirms how Kurt Hennig saved his life.
Wow.
They were apparently hunting buddies. And deer hunting in Iowa back in the day. Wade Boggs got tangled in some barbed wire. In Soviet Russia, deer hunt you. Ha, 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 ha. So apparently Wade Boggs got caught in the whatever was going on there. And Kurt Hennig, who was wrestling with him, he was losing a lot of blood. Kurt Hennig got him out of the mess, picked him up, and carried him on his shoulder for about 3 miles to the pickup truck and got him to the hospital. I am stunned because Kurt Hennig was a heel.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs got color the hard way, and Kurt Hennig turned babyface to save him.
How did Boggs and Kurt Hennig even meet?
I have no idea. Wade Boggs and Kurt Hennig were legit best buds. They both lived in Tampa and were very close friends.
Oh.
Wade Boggs did finish his career with the Tampa Rays. Maybe that was it. Who knows? So yes, apparently Wade Boggs here it is. Chicken Man 3010, that's Wade Boggs' handle on X there, responded with a thumbs up and a gratitude hands folded sign there when Fly the Wood Designs asked if there was any truth to this story. Apparently, yes. I'm guessing the handle there for Wade Boggs, he was known for being an avid connoisseur of chicken during his playing days. And 3010, is that how many hits he finished his career with? 3,010 hits. Hall of Famer Wade Boggs.
Yeah. You know what? It kind of makes sense why they're friends. Because did Wade Boggs do the thing, the Wade Boggs challenge? He drank 30 beers on a plane or something like that?
Apparently, he's one of those people who can drink lots of beer.
Yeah.
Yes,
30 of them.
there are legendary stories of cross-country flights where Wade Boggs, teammates have said they think it's around 60 or 70 beers.
Yeah.
That he did on a cross-country flight.
And Mr. Perfect, not to get too dark here, but he was his cause of death was acute cocaine intoxication. So he was partying a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So it would kind of make sense that these two would cross paths in Tampa and we're like, oh, let's hang out, man. You know, let's drink 30 beers together.
Two great athletes, each in their own fields there. Love of the outdoors, love of hunting, and yes, perhaps with the stamina when it comes to the foreign substances there.
With the foreign substances. I like that. Instead of
Yes.
foreign weapons, foreign substances.
Right, it's a foreign substance, you know. Who is it? It was Robert Roode and Beer Money that actually used beer bottles as weapons during matches. Him and James Storm. There you go. So,
Yeah.
yes, a good story there, reminiscing about the late Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and Wade Boggs. One more. Let's end on a good note from TNA. Stars get married from WrestleZone. Current TNA star Steph DeLander and Mance Warner got married in a small and private ceremony surrounded by close friends, which include some people they work with from wrestling. Steph DeLander posted this to her account on X. And let's see here. People including the ceremony include Matt Cardona, former TNA Knockouts World Champion Ash by Elegance, former NXT superstar Gigi Dolan, and current WWE superstar Bronson Reed, who is apparently everywhere. Shared stories and pictures, including Ash by Elegance, Matt Cardona, who was Steph DeLander's deathmatch royalty tag team partner in GCW Game Changer Wrestling, had a special role to play in the wedding as the ring bearer. Usually a role played by a small child. This time it was played by huge, hulking Matt Cardona, the king of death matches. The guests who attended the ceremony also received custom micro brawler figures.
Mm,
This
that's
sounds
cool.
like a very pro wrestling themed wedding. Mance Warner apparently wore a tuxedo with shorts.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds like a fun wedding.
Congratulations to the newly married couple and to everybody who attended the ceremony to wish them well. John, I'm not wearing shorts, but I could be because it is unseasonably warm. And I am pathologically frugal. John, what are we and what is this?
This is cheap heat. All
Si,
right.
senor.
Let's stick it. Let's put it into. Hang on.
It's
We're gonna
time
move
for
in.
fifth gear here on Don't Bury the Lead.
We're gonna get to the last segment here, which is the Italian goodbye. Many of you know this, but essentially, we don't say goodbye right away. We just talk and talk and talk and talk. I have some stuff to do right now, Dom, so I'm gonna step away. But I'll be back, and I'll also ask
I
anybody
will
in the
go
chat.
full
So
screen here so I can see the. Is there any chat available? I don't know if you have to put it on the screen. Usually, I can see it if it's available in the restream here.
can you see it?
Not yet. Let me see. Yes, I can. You don't have to put it on the screen. I can read them here.
There you
Yes.
go. Go through the chats there, and I know there's some that were sent over during the cheap heat. Maybe you could talk to the fixer.
Yes, I've got a lot here. Let's check some of those. What do we got here? Just in case I need it, I may put that one up there. And just in case we need it, coming back, I may put that one up there. But okie dokie, there we go. Let's see here. What do we got? Talking of neck injuries, Piper Niven may be forced to retire after suffering her broken neck. She was wrestling and looked great, and I think picked up a win over Charlotte Flair, and then she just vanished. That is very unfortunate. if her career is over. She was a good athlete, a good worker, a really good employee of WWE, did what she was asked and always made the most of it. She was not one of these people who sulked or half-assed it. She gave a good effort, and everything she did as far as I seen in the last 3 years plus that John and I have been doing Don't Bury the Lead back watching WWE again. Piper Niven always enhanced whatever program she was in. So really unfortunate for her, but if it's better for her health that she retire, then maybe she retire. Let's say here, orange juice and champagne is called a Bucks Fizz. Is that what you call it over in the UK? Over here in the US, especially on the East Coast, being close to, reasonably close to New York City and the Brooklyn brunch crowd, I believe those are mimosas here. I am not much of a champagne and orange juice person, so call it whatever you like. I think vodka and orange juice is a screwdriver. Somebody who knows more about alcoholic beverages. Perhaps we have some bartenders or just some very knowledgeable people about the foreign substances who can tell us about this. Let's see. Other stuff from referencing cheap heat stuff here. The Fixer chiming in here. My best friend says a lot of crazy things about Hornswoggle, usually some crazy wrestling ideas about Hornswoggle F5ing someone from the Burj Khalifa. Don't ask. Hornswoggle was apparently behind the scenes one of these guys who like to play pranks on other wrestlers. And I don't know who he said it was, but at one time, one wrestler was just walking behind him and gave him a big kick in the back and just floored the poor guy. And Hornswoggle was saying, yeah, I deserve that. Hornswoggle was apparently one of them coworkers who like to keep things a little fun around the workplace. So I believe that that there may be some crazy stories floating around about Hornswoggle. Very good. They keep teasing a match between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. I think they should put the pull the trigger on that match. Adam Pearce, former 5-time NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. I think it's fantastic. They're both not yet 50. Nick Aldis might not yet be 40. Adam Pearce, I think, is still in his 40s. So they both seem to be in reasonably good physical shape. We do see them on camera a lot. They wear the suits. They seem to fill them out well. Physically still imposing figures as well. Maybe they can both still wrestle. I'd like to see it. The Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. I just like to see Hornswoggle F5 anybody. Although at his height, I don't know whom he could pick up on his shoulders. I think Hornswoggle could jump off the top turnbuckle and tornado DDT somebody. I'm not sure if he can execute the fireman's carry and F5 someone. But all best to him. Hornswoggle had a good career, made the most of it. Apparently is still well liked by people in the industry. Was on the interview circuit there, and good for him. And if he ever winds up doing something with Darby Allin, I am sure that Darby Allin will let everyone know. Very good stuff. Let's see here. Had a good chortle over the Timu Alistair Black short. Yes. Yes, that was your punchline, Fixer, that we included there. John did in making an edited video, and I think he also may have also done a short about it. So yes, thank you. It's again, we are not trying to rip on Alistair Black. I think he's a great in-ring talent. He also has a move set that isn't cookie cutter. Not everybody does it. So he's interesting. I don't know why they need to give him and Zelina Vega the Karrion Kross and Scarlett gimmick. Like, Aleister Black should be an interesting enough person on his own without trying to recycle the dark and moody but high class wrestling couple gimmick. Aleister Black had a great match with Ilya Dragunov that we spoke about on a recent SmackDown. So Aleister Black, good to see him wrestling. He is an interesting wrestler. It's just kind of a questionable gimmick. But very good there. Let's see here. What other good stuff is here? Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns will be in WrestleMania. I'm going to bet. I would bet too, especially since they're at the card table in the WrestleMania trailers. If they're not in WrestleMania, then what are they doing in the advertisements? I mean, obviously, if an injury happens between now and then and they're unable to be there, sure. But obviously, I would say both of them have to be in the creative plans. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, apparently, and CM Punk. There you go. Let's see here. Jericho's contract in AEW might be up in December. If so, and they're just waiting out the end of Jericho's contract, I wonder if he has a 90-day no-compete in his AEW contract, the way WWE tries to include in their contracts with talent. If so, then it'll be a while before we would see Jericho anywhere if he winds up not re-signing with AEW. If he does not have that kind of employment restriction, then yeah, if he walks in December, he can walk into the Royal Rumble in early 2026. What do you think if Chris Jericho does show up at Royal Rumble? Does he get a huge pop? Is it a good surprise for people? I think it would be. The Royal Rumble, they usually have a few spots reserved for nostalgia. I think Jericho would fit that bill very well. Now, the question is, could Jericho be returning to WWE for a longer-term program where he was actually going to get in there and wrestle, maybe get involved in some angles, some rivalries? But yeah, at the very least, as a one-off in the Royal Rumble, I think he'd be a big splash. And if he only came back for a one-off in the Royal Rumble and then was gone, he could maybe sign anywhere after that. If it's true that his contract is up in December and he has some options, good to keep your options open until you actually have to make a decision there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Damian Priest saying here, the Fixer, you're saying Damian Priest doesn't seem to have the charisma to pull off doing heel stuff while saying he's a face. On the other hand, that's basically what Judgment Day became with him and Rhea Ripley. That they were people that the crowd wanted to cheer even though they were supposedly still in this heel faction. And I don't think that, I mean, Rhea Ripley, she's still acting the way she did when she left Judgment Day. It's just that now the crowd can openly cheer her because she's not in Judgment Day. But she really didn't do much that was different. Damian Priest also, not doing a ton of stuff that's different, just allowing the crowd to cheer for him if they're doing it. Damian Priest, I wonder what his future holds and if they're going to try and go firm babyface, firm heel with him. So we'll see. Jericho isn't the wrestler you build a brand around, here in the chat. Not anymore. At one time, yes, he could be, and yes, he was. But yes, not anymore. Those days have passed. But you could still be effective even if you can't be the guy that they build the brand around. It would be cool. Perhaps he starts his own wrestling promotion called the Jericho Vortex. Aha! He could always reapply for the trademark. They approved it once. If Chris Jericho started his own wrestling company called the Jericho Vortex, would you be intrigued? I would. All right, very good stuff. So, we have talked about Saturday night's main event. We have gone through some what's up in the future here. John Cena's final match at the next Saturday night's main event. Haven't talked too much Survivor Series stuff. That's really in flux, especially War Games. We are now less than a month away from Survivor Series and War Games. There hasn't been much build for that premium live event. That's been one of the WWE's big four for a long time. WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. One each calendar season. Not a lot of talk about Royal Rumble. Not Royal Rumble. Survivor Series this year. Not a lot of talk about Survivor Series and War Games. It's like they're skipping right over it and talking about John Cena's final match in December at Saturday night's main event. Chat here, Rhea Ripley isn't really doing heel type stuff. Priest is doing heel type stuff, and I don't feel like it works for Priest. He should go heel again. He should go full on heel. Well, he's going to have to get out of this program with Timu, Karrion, and Cross in order to do that. Unless they're going to nix this Aleister Black, Selena Vega program and turn Aleister Black babyface. And have him be the baby face and Damian Priest turn heel there. Rhea Ripley wasn't really doing heel stuff. Correct. However, I just noticed that she was doing a lot of the same stuff that she did as a heel, and people just started to cheer for her while she was in Judgment Day, and she kept kind of the same persona. She even still does the mommy is always on top thing, even though the whole mommy thing was a joke because her quote-unquote on-screen boyfriend was Hispanic. And so the joke was that she was the mommy. Well, she doesn't have a Hispanic boyfriend anymore. And she still does the mommy is always on top thing. Somewhat interesting, somewhat funny. As they tend to be. All right. So the Italian goodbye is when we kind of meander our way to the finish here. It's not quite like a WWE pay-per-view match where they're just kicking out of finishers all the time to get there. It's more the Italian goodbye where we intend to sign off, just not right away.
Yeah.
Like we don't have Italians leaving a party rarely have a hard out.
Yeah. I don't.
It's always a soft out.
Mm-hmm. You're making your way to leave, but you're hanging out and you're starting other conversations as you're leaving. You're not saying, all right, see you later. It's not like you say, okay, see you later. Bye. Boom. And you leave. No way. That you got several more conversations to have. You're talking in the parlor, you're saying, oh yeah, I'm going to get going soon. Oh, well, why don't you take the potato chips? Well, we'll never eat these. Right. And you're like, we don't really want the potato chips. We probably won't eat them either. Oh, take them. And then you take the potato chips that you don't want, but they got pushed on you.
This happened to me Halloween night. I'm leaving the party. And it was, you're taking some leftovers. And I said, and I started to answer, and I was told that wasn't a question.
Nice.
So I may or may not have had cupcakes for breakfast today, John.
Oh, the leftovers were treats.
Yes.
Oh, that's dangerous in your house, right? I know you have a sweet tooth.
I did have a sweet tooth. Although I did make some life changes after the great cake hangover of 2019.
Wow, tell us about the great cake hangover of 2019.
All right, so I buy one of them Entenmann's cakes that I'm gonna bring to some friends when I go to visit them. And I get the call there. Oh, the kids got the flu. They're really feeling under the weather. I don't know if it'd be that much fun for you to come over. I said, all right, well, we'll do it some other time. So now I'm stuck with an entire Entenmann's chocolate fudge cake. And I'm like, I can't, I don't want it to go bad. So I think I watched, whatever, basketball that night or whatever. It was kind of around January-ish. And I wound up polishing off the whole cake. And I went to bed and I woke up the next morning with a pounding headache. It was a cake hangover. Then I get into work and I work in the big area there on the floor with all the desks, just one next to each other, a little sort of half cubicle style. It's somebody's birthday, catty corner to me in that part of the office. And so there's all the cakes and the donuts out there when I arrive. And they're like, oh, you want some stuff? And I'm like, oh, no, I can't. No, thank you. Oh, the headache, too much. I literally had a cake hangover. I had to turn down donuts and other things at the office that Monday.
Hilarious. You actually turned down donuts, which is like, you're not the type that would turn down a donut.
No, especially not at the office.
Yeah, right.
Like, who turns down office pastry?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I fish that stuff out of the trash if it's still in the box.
George Costanza style?
Oh, the rule is that if the box is in the trash, but the box maintains structural integrity, then the pastry in the box is not in the trash. The pastry is in the box. The box is in the trash.
Mm. All right, Dom.
Few trailing chats here. Damian Priest, he's instigating situations with other wrestlers. Yes, he is. To try and prolong this feud, he is coming out and causing distractions, which I guess you could say is kind of a heel move, isn't it? Yeah, agreed. That's kind of a heel move. He instigated his feud with Drew McIntyre. Well, yeah, he cashed in Money in the Bank on him, didn't he? I think he did. He cashed in. So yeah, if you've got the Money in the Bank briefcase, then you have to instigate. Nobody's waiting to sign an open contract with you there, formal contract for your Money in the Bank cash in. If you've got the briefcase, you've got the contract, you have to instigate. That makes it fun. So very good there. John, you started to say all right, like you wanted to say goodbye, and then you just kind of stepped out for a minute. There you are back.
If you want to keep going, you can.
I think we've exhausted the chat here. We've gotten through everything that was in there. Thank you, everybody who chatted with. Thank you to everybody who joined the live stream tonight. Thank you to Nick from the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Thank you to the Fixer for both jumping into the live chat there. This was a lot of fun. Made the Saturday night's main event recap a little better than it normally would be. I gave Saturday night's main event a teetering thumbs down, but I give Don't Bury the Lead and all of our active participants a thumbs up.
Dom, I couldn't have said it any better.
7 stars in South Jersey for Don't Bury the Lead.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thanks for joining, and the people that were on the chat, the Fixer, Nick Tierdero, and you know what? I got some news for you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Dom, great job tonight. Great job as always. This was a fun show. And have a great rest of your evening.